Chapter 1. Why every boardroom needs this conversation now. Let me be straight with you from the very first page. This is not a book about technology. It is not a book full of acronyms, algorithms, and abstract concepts that make your eyes glaze over before you reach page 3. This is a book about your business, your decisions, and your future. It is about making sure that when the most significant shift in modern business history reaches your door, and it already has, you are standing on the right side of it. Artificial intelligence is not coming. It is already here. Right now, while you are reading this, your competitors are quietly testing tools that could cut their operating costs in half. Your suppliers are automating processes that used to require entire teams. Your customers are interacting with AI-powered systems and forming expectations about speed, personalization, and service that businesses running on old ways of working will struggle to meet. The world has moved. The question is not whether AI will affect your business. It will. The only question worth sitting with is this: will you understand it well enough to use it, or will you be reacting to it long after the moment has passed? I have been in business long enough to know how these moments feel from inside a boardroom. There is a particular kind of silence that fills the room when someone raises something unfamiliar, and nobody wants to admit they do not fully understand it. People nod. Someone says they will look into it. The agenda moves on, and 3 years later, you look back and realize that was the moment. The moment you could have moved first, built something, got ahead. Instead, you waited. I am not here to make you feel behind. I am here to make sure you never feel that way again. The shift that has happened in artificial intelligence over the last 2 to 3 years is genuinely unlike anything I have seen in 2 decades of running and building businesses. For most of modern history, AI was locked away. It lived in the research labs of Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI. It required teams of PhDs, millions in infrastructure, and timelines measured in years. It was something you read about, not something you used. Then, almost without warning, the doors opened. The tools became accessible. The costs dropped to almost nothing. And suddenly, a sole trader sitting at a kitchen table in the north of England could access the same underlying intelligence as the largest corporations on the planet. Not a watered-down version, not a simplified toy, the real thing. Today, for less than the cost of a monthly mobile phone contract, any business leader can access AI tools powerful enough to write, analyze, design, code, classify, research, and automate with a level of capability that would have seemed like science fiction just 5 years ago. That is the world we are operating in, and it is accelerating. What makes this moment genuinely extraordinary is not just what the technology can do. It is the speed at which it is becoming the default expectation. When email arrived, businesses had years to adapt. When smartphones changed how customers behaved, there was a transition period. AI is not offering that luxury. The adoption curve is steep, the competitive advantage window is narrow, and the businesses that move with confidence and knowledge right now are the ones that will define their markets over the next decade. I have lived this firsthand. Over the last few years, I have built multiple software platforms from scratch, using AI not as a gimmick, but as a genuine operational partner. I have automated compliance workflows that previously consumed entire working days. I have used AI to generate content, produce analysis, classify complex data, design interfaces, write code, and manage entire project pipelines. I have done all of this without a technology degree, without a team of developers, and without a vast budget. I am a business operator. I learned what I needed to learn. I built things that work. And I found that the barrier to entry is far lower than almost everyone assumes. That matters because one of the most persistent myths around artificial intelligence is that it belongs to the technically gifted, that you need to understand how it works under the hood before you can use it effectively. You do not. You do not need to understand how an engine works to drive a car. You do not need to understand the physics of flight to board a plane. What you need is enough knowledge to make good decisions, to know what to ask for, what to expect, what to trust, and when to push back. That is the kind of knowledge this book is designed to give you. There is another myth worth addressing early, and that is the fear. AI generates a particular kind of anxiety in boardrooms, and it is understandable. It feels fast, it feels opaque, and it touches questions about jobs, data, security, and control that matter deeply to anyone responsible for a business and the people in it. I am not going to dismiss those concerns. They are real, and we will address them directly in the pages ahead. But I will tell you this. The fear of AI is almost always larger than the reality of it, and the best antidote to fear is always knowledge. When you understand what AI actually is, what it can genuinely do today versus what it cannot, where it fits and where it does not, the anxiety tends to dissolve, and something else takes its place. Curiosity, excitement, a sense of possibility that most business leaders find genuinely energizing once they allow themselves to engage with it properly. That is what I want for you by the end of this book. Not mastery of a technical subject, not an ability to build AI systems yourself, although if you want to, the tools are more accessible than you think. What I want is for you to walk away from this book informed, confident, and excited, ready to have the real conversation in your boardroom, ready to ask the right questions of the people around you, ready to make decisions about AI from a position of knowledge rather than guesswork. The boardroom conversation about AI is not a technical one. It is a strategic one. It is about where your business is going, what it could become, and whether you are going to lead that journey or be led by it. That conversation starts right here, right now, on this page. Let us begin.